Hello, everybody, and welcome to this roundup of all Aston Villa news from the 7th of August 2025, brought to you in For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast in a segment we like to call Villa AM. And I'm so thankful for everybody who's reached out and said that they're really enjoying this bite-sized bit of information, because that's really what we want it to be. We want it to be your morning routine, an 8-minute routine, maybe a 10-minute routine of where you get to get your fill of maybe bits and pieces that you didn't know happened for Aston Villa yesterday, or the day previous, should I say. And in this instance, on the 7th of August, in the year of our Lord 2025. So firstly, let me start off with, I suppose, the biggest piece of information that came out of the first piece, really, I suppose, of information that came out with regards to Aston Villa today. And there wasn't a whole lot of massive information, but some of it was consequential, I think, in a lot of ways. And that first piece is that Digne has signed his extension. And we talked about it last night, or yesterday, should I say, with regards to him, Villa looking to time down to an extension, and that extension has now been signed, a 2-year extension for Digne. Rumoured by Jacob Tanswell to have been a reduction in wages, with his current wage structure being spread out over 2 years. Very good for Aston Villa from the point of view of, number one, getting SCR values down, and second of all, protecting his value into a second year, because even though he is in his 30s, there is, protecting somebody's value so they don't leave it a free transfer is beneficial as well. And potentially this contract could have a lot of kind of multiplier bonuses and so on based on games played and so on as well for Digne. So it can still obviously be very lucrative for him. Delighted to have him tacked down, somebody that Unai Emery really, really likes. And if Unai Emery likes him, well, then that's good enough for me. And somebody else that Unai Emery really, really likes is Captain John McGinn. A strange sequence of tweets and sequence of events happened over about a 10-minute period on the 27th of August, whereby, first of all, it came out that Everton had an £18 million bid for John McGinn, rebuffed by Aston Villa, obviously, because we aren't selling him for £18 million. Our captain, somebody who's going to be very active in the team this year, and somebody who Emery absolutely loves. And I think it was kind of, a tongue-in-cheek bid for 18 million from Everton. But then we get news about 10 minutes later that, by the way, actually Aston Villa are going to offer McGinn another contract and he looks set to sign it. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. They are tying down these players, protecting their values, paying them what they're worth. They're paying them in elongating their contracts in some instances to spread the cost out over a couple of years. I think is smart. Tying down somebody like John McGinn, who's 30 years of age, soon to be 31, is also smart. Pay him what he's worth. He's been really, really good for Aston Villa. And I know people will say about sell-on values and stuff like that. Let's see how this one pans out for John McGinn, because I think he's worth more to us in and around the squad currently in this current season than getting £18 million from Everton. And I always just thought that he's probably going to see out his contract and end up playing for Celtic someday, because I think that is his dream. Someone else who's lived out his dream and done everything he needed to, I suppose, really, with regards to his dream of international football and with regards to individual accolades, is Emi Martinez, and he's been nominated again for the Yashin Award. We know that he's won it twice previously, in a very, very, very small pool of goalkeepers to have won it, never mind won it twice. And he's been nominated again. Unfortunately, I don't expect him to win it this year, but I think in an off season whereby there's been quite a lot said about Emi Martinez, and also coming off that red card after Manchester United, we do have to kind of remind ourselves that he still is a damn good goalkeeper. Saves against Nottingham Forest last year, saves against plenty of saves in the Champions League that we saw from him as well. He's been nominated for this Yashin Award, and while I think it's unlikely that he's going to win it, I think it's still worth newsworthy and noteworthy that he's still held in that high regard amongst goalkeepers as well. And somebody who's held in high regard as well within the club and is now tipping on to, I think it's 28 years of age, is Matty Cash. And I hope that Matty Cash has had an awful lot of cash in his birthday cards over the course of the day today. somebody who's been with the club for the last couple of years, much maligned by fans at times. Some fans like him, some fans don't. Today isn't the day for that. Look, he wears the Aston Villa colours, and want to wish Matty Cash an absolutely brilliant birthday. Hopefully you get your birthday wishes as you blow out the candle are going to be Aston Villa related, and specifically getting into the Champions League or even winning the bloody Europa League or something along those lines. But hopefully you do get all those wishes that you do so you wish for with your birthday cake today. And lastly, if you are going to have a celebration, little celebratory tipple as well, Matty Cash. I've gotten my wish, and my wish came true because Aston Villa today said that God's Nectar is going to be on sale in Villa Park, and that is, they've done a deal with Guinness to serve Guinness at Villa Park. Now, I'm sure people will, first thing that will come to mind is Guinness from a plastic glass, and yes, I do know that is sacrilegious, but look, I will go to my grave to say that a bad pint of Guinness is better than a good pint of some lagers as well. But then again, I am biased because I am Irish, and we are more or less baptized and washed in this stuff anyway on a daily basis. And yeah, for me, Guinness is right up there. And as I said on social media, Guinness and Aston Villa forming a partnership is like my two best friends got married. And that's exactly how I feel about it, because and it's good. Look, it's good to have these deals coming through the club. It's obviously not a sponsorship deal, it's just a deal to pour it at the grounds, I suppose, but all that brings in money and revenue, you would imagine, and hopefully we can build on that as well over the course of this off season. So that's really it, guys. That's the wrap up of the news from the 7th of August 2025. Villa march on towards games against Marseille and against Villarreal at the weekend. We will be back as well with long form podcasts previewing both of those games as well. And if anything else pops up, we will be back with long form podcasts on that too. But thank you so much for joining us for Villa AM. Please like, subscribe, follow both on the audio podcast version and here on YouTube as well. And once again, I do want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much, everybody, for the kind words, specifically about the entrance music for this podcast as well. It doesn't go unnoticed, and I really appreciate all those kind words. It keeps me coming back every day. So thank you. See you again tomorrow, everybody. Hope you have a fantastic day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the
morning with Villa AM. It's Villa in the morning with Villa.